This is Rimstalker with the fourth video in a series of videos on how to do planetary interaction, or PI, profitably. Today we are going to go over setting up a planet for harvesting only. In other words, we will only be pulling the raw materials off of our planet and not fooling around with converting them to anything or processing them in any way. If you remember last time when we picked a planet, in the example's sake, we used a gas world. We will use that same planet today. Your planet will be different, or it may be the same planet. It doesn't matter. All the processes, regardless of which kind of planet or what you're pulling off of it or processing on it, are all the same. First though, we're going to set up our interface in Eve so that we can access our planet or planets much more efficiently. To do that, we're going to come up here to the little E at the top. We're going to come down to business, and we're going to come down to planetary colonies. We're going to click, hold, and drag that down there. Now it's always there. Makes it much easier to access your PI when what you use is constantly there. So we're going to click our little icon, and as you can see, I have many worlds set up. Now to access the planet that we want, you have to know which one that is, and it is the gas planet. We're going to just double click on it, and that goes ahead and zooms us right in. This is where I place my command center. Notice it is all upgraded. Like I said before in the previous video, place command center, upgrade all the way. That way you never have to fool with it. It's never going to be a problem. Now on this planet, we're going to go after reactive gas. And like I said before, as time goes on, you'll know what on which planet, which you need to go for, the whole 9 yards. So the first thing we're going to do is click scan. Then we're going to click reactive gas. There's all our hotspots, if you will, of reactive gas. And of course, if you switch it, you can see what's going on. This is kind of the default view that most people see whenever they look at something like this. But we're going to actually adjust this so that we can see it better. We can see pretty much on this that it is pretty good. This is a good spot. I always look for the white spots there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to shrink that all the way. Now some people will say, oh, but it's just one little spot, it's no big deal. True. But once you shrink that and you just kind of drag your little thing right there back and forth, notice you can really get in there on where the good stuff is. So you can do that, and of course you can go all the way over here and you think, oh, the planet's all loaded up. It's not, it's the settings. But I like to go to something like this where I can see that's a good amount, and kind of take a spin around the planet and see where it is. There's no reason to plant your extractors in a situation like this in a blank area. You want to put it, or put them, right where you can access the most. Now the thing is that then once I've done this, we can go ahead and move it back. We can kind of see how it all goes. So actually, if I put one right here, I could hit these 3 big areas and maybe even part of this one down here. So that's what you want to kind of do. You have to kind of look at it. It'll take a planet or two, and you may find that once you've set up a planet, in a week or so you'll come back, you'll have read something, you'll have looked at someone else's, and you'll come back and you'll make a change and do it completely different. It happens. It's no big deal. So we've got pretty much our hotspots where all the good stuff is. It's in the white area. And what we're going to do here is we're going to click on the extractor control unit. I set up each set of facilities, and you'll see what I mean here in a second, as a group. It works best for me that way. I don't forget stuff. If I get carried away and start doing things on the side, it winds up being a big old mess. So we're going to click here. We're going to click gas extractor control unit. Notice I have got, I think that is the reach of my extractor unit. So I want to get a little bit of everything that I can squeeze in there if I can at all possible. And sometimes you have to, once you've got your circle out, you kind of got to look around again. Now I have looked all over this planet, and this is going to be our best bet here. Now you can get a little tiny bit outside the circle, but you cannot get, you know, a long ways, and you'll see what I'm talking about here. So we're going to go ahead and plop our little extractor down right there. We're going to zoom way in so we can see. Now I like to get in real close. Now I'm going to put a storage facility. Now you'll have some people who will use storage facilities, and you have some people who put an extractor and then straight to a launch pad. Like I said, it's what works best for you. This is the way I do it. That way I don't have to tend it every single day, even though I kind of do. So if you noticed, I was putting these as close together as I can. Why? Because you're going to have to link these. And the links consume CPU and power. You don't want to be one of these people who's spending all their CPU and power on links, because they've got links running all over the planet. So you can see I've got it from the extractor. It'll route to the storage bin, and then I can pump it over to the launch pad when I'm ready. After you do something like this, it's not done until we click submit. It's never done until you click submit. And I can't tell you how many times I've done something and just in a hurry or a rush doing something else as well, forgot to click submit, and you come back the next day to pull the raw materials out and there's no raw materials because you never click submit. So it's kind of a pain, but you got to do that. Now, once we got that done, we're going to zoom back out because we're going to want to see our whole area again. And we're going to click on the extractor, and we're going to do survey for deposits. Now remember, in this case, we're going after reactive gases. See, it kind of all goes away. I happen to know that this one way over here in the corner is reactive gas. So you click that, it kind of rescans the planet for you. And what we're going to do is I'm going to install all of these. They will all wind up being all miscombobulated and whatnot, and that's fine. You always have to do this. Okay, I'm going to set this for 24 hours. And if you zoom in real close and look at this, you will see the area the extractor head pulls from actually enlarges and shrinks depending on what you've got. I've got 1 day and 15 minutes. I've got exactly 1 day. Now the thing to look at over here is on the per hour. The per hour is what you want more than anything else, and you want that as high as possible without being something that you have to sit there 24 hours a day and babysit. So now that we've got all of them active, we've got our extraction area size, which is a time size. It's 24 hours or 1 day. We're going to kind of stretch these little guys out. And as you watch them, notice that one jumped to 273. If you watch each one, this one is the next one. It's 10.83. When you drop them out, oh, damn. And sometimes if you double click on the planet, it swings it back to the command center. But you're just going to go ahead and do it like that. You don't want to have any of the red where you have two of the extractor heads touching, because they're both pulling from the exact same area or very similar to the same area. And you will wind up losing, not really losing, that's not the correct word, but you won't be making as much in your material harvesting as you would otherwise. So I've kind of set all of these good areas. There we go. Notice that we're at 76,748 units. In 24 hours, that's what we're going to pull. That's really nice. Now, these actual units that will be pulled, there will be millions in the storage bin, and there will be, you will move 1 million of that over to the launch pad. We will do that tomorrow. But for right now, this is a good haul. After you do that, you have to click. We're all set up. All the extractors are where we want them. We're going to click Install Program. And then we're going to click Submit. And if you're smart, you're going to come back, you're going to click on your extractor head, and you will see that yes, it is extracting, and it will be done in 24 hours. Now, in less than 24 hours, we're going to fill up that storage bin. I can pretty much promise that. But for right now, everything's good, it's all golden. Now, what we're going to do here is, if you have to run from the extractor, we are going to route our products. See, they're not routed. And we're going to do that down to the gas storage facility. You can see at the destination. Now, do you see how in the percentage 000, that means there's nothing in the storage facility right now, but the route would be operating at 146.25% over what its maximum capacity is. There will be nothing routed, and you will see that this will fail. Create route, bang. The route cannot be created, as adding traffic to one of the links over which it travels would create a serious, disaster, and the end of the world would occur, blah, 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 blah. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to zoom back down here, and very carefully, we're going to click on the link, and we're going to upgrade it. If you have to upgrade your link, you did it right. So we're going to go ahead and click upgrade. We're going to go ahead and click submit. Now, sometimes you still have to, you can upgrade it again. Oops. Sorry about that. Sometimes you have to upgrade it again. I wouldn't do that. I would just reroute it. If it doesn't allow us to route this time, and it's going to. If it doesn't, I would have taken one of the extractor heads down. Now, that's our first one, and that was a pretty good one. So what we're going to do here is we're going to look around here and see if we can find another one. I like this one right here, where there's 3 right like this, but who knows? That one, this one, or right there may be a good one too. I just like them all fairly close together. I don't like to have to hunt all over a world to find out where the thing is. So we're going to come back here and we'll see if we can pop that one right there. Now this one will not, chances are, is not going to have anywhere near the same amount of extractor heads, because we had to upgrade the other one, and it just, it's that way. Rather than having 2 with only like 5 or 6 extractor heads, you should have 1 operating at full capacity in the best area, and then whatever's left over from another area. So we've got that. We've got our extractor. We're going to put our little storage bin down here. So a lot of people say, well, I've got my levels up to level 4, level 5, and I still can only fit X amount. If you have real long links, that's where you're losing your power and your CPU. So is it worth kind of trashing a planet to get it fixed? Yes, it is. So we've got create a link. And we'll create another link from there to the extractor. It's good. You see we have about maybe 25% left of our power usage. So the other one used quite a bit because we had to upgrade it. Always go for the white first, because that's where the majority of it is. So we're going to go ahead and click the survey. We're going to click that. We're going to click as many of these little guys as we can. You don't ever want to not click one for whatever reason. Some people do. So it's going to let us do almost all of them. And we're going to go ahead and drop that down to 24 hours or 1 day. Oops. And we're going to put that one right there. And you see that I can kind of squeeze these out to halfway over the circle. Yes, you're getting on what's on the other side of the circle's edge there. Makes it kind of a handy little way to get a little bit extra to what you've got going. Now, since I don't have a lot, I have less of these than I did the other one. This will be that one. We may have to kill this one off here. It depends. We've got a pretty good selection coming in at 68,297 units. So we may have to upgrade. Sometimes there's just enough needed or just enough power left to upgrade the link from the extractor to the storage. Sometimes you do have to kill one of these. So if we do, we're going to kill this one. So this last little guy right there. So we're going to go ahead. It's all placed. Our data set, all these are set. Everything is ready to go. Install program. Submit. And let's route it. We'll check it. It is extracting, time to depletion. That's good. Now, if you're somebody who, I'm only here for 4 or 5 days, then set it for 4 or 5 days. You can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. So if you're, I don't want to have to fool with it. It's a once a week deal and I don't want to have to fool with it before you, set it for every 7 days. You can set it all the way up to every 14 days. But the longer the time you set in there, the less you actually bring in per hour. So we're going to route this, or try to create route. And all this does, and see, notice it's over 100%. So it's not going to allow us. So we're just going to slide back over here. We're going to try to upgrade this. Like I said, we may be winding up having to kill one of the heads off, but that's okay. And there's enough power. So now we'll come back here, create route, we'll go into there. And there you go. Your planet is now set up. It is now productive. It is making all kinds of goodness here. So we've got 2 extractors operating at maximum capacity to the point that they had to upgrade their links to the storage bins. You can't get better than that. And that will be the end of that. Now, the next video we will go over harvesting our stuff, and then the last video after that will actually be setting up a processing planet. Thank you very much.